What I'm trying to show you is you don't need a calculator to tell me that's equal. What is 99 the same as? 9 times 11. Does everybody agree with that? So 9 times 9 times 11. Is that the same as 11 times 9 times 9? So basically what I just did. Yeah. All right. So are they equivalent ratios? The answer to number 9 is what? Yes. All right. Now let's look at number 11. All right. Here we're just trying to see if they're equal. Now, first of all, I don't like the 8.4 and the 9.2, so I can just multiply them both by 10. Does everybody agree with that? So this is really just 84 over what? 92. And the other one would be what? 88 over 96. Now we're trying to see if those are equivalent. All right. For me personally, I don't like to do 84 times 96, and I don't like to do 92 times 88. So I try to reduce the fraction. What number goes into 84 and 92? 2. So 2 goes into 84 42 times. 2 goes into 92. Well, 2 goes into 9 4 times with 1 left over. So 2 goes into 12 what? 6 times. Now, if I wanted to reduce 42 over 46, I could reduce by what again? 2. 2 goes into 42. 2 goes into 42. 21. 2 goes into 46. 23. So I'm trying to see if 88 over 96 reduces to 21 over 23. And some of you should look at that and say, well, I don't think that does. All right. And you would be right. It doesn't. But let's reduce it anyway. What goes into 88 and 96? How much? 2. So 2 goes into 88, obviously. 44. 2 goes into 9. How many times? 4 with 1 left over. So 2 goes into 6. Sit down, Palmer. 2 goes into 16. How many times? 8. Now reduce it by 2 again. 2 goes into 44. 22 over what? So are they equivalent ratios? Now can you look at it and say there's obviously it's not equivalent? Does everybody agree with that? So that's a no. All right, that's a no. All right, if you wanted to, you could have just multiplied 84 times 96, and 4 times 6 ends in a 4. Does everybody agree with that? 92 times 88 is going to end in a what? 6. So are they equivalent? No, that's how simple that is. Yeah, I'm just dividing. I'm just reducing. Yeah, I just multiply. First, to get rid of the decimals, I multiplied by 10. And then I just, yes, I'm dividing by 2, and dividing by 2 again, I'm reducing the fraction. All right, I'm reducing the fraction. Yes.
So all this are you saying if any of the numbers can be divided?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm reducing the fractions. All right. You have options, though, is what I'm trying to tell you. All right, because we don't have a calculator, I don't feel like multiplying 84 times 96. Right, but I was smart enough to say, well, 4 times 6 ends in a 4. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
And 2 times 8 ends in a 6. So there's no way they're equal. All right, that would be good. All right, here we go. Let's go to 13. You don't need to add anything, Maggie. All right, here we go. 13. All right, does everybody see? I don't feel like doing this one either. Does everybody agree? All right, so I'm going to get rid of the decimals. All right, if I get rid of the decimals, the top one becomes, or the first fraction just becomes what? Thank you, 292 over 104. And then the other one is what? 73 over 26. All right. Now my trick where I multiply, this 2 times 6 is going to end in a what? 2 times 6 is going to end in a what? 2, right? 4 times 3 is going to end in a what? 2. So does that help me now? No. I don't. Just because it ends in a 2 doesn't mean it's equal, right? So I can't do the little trick like I did on the last one. All right, so now once again, I prefer to reduce the fraction. So I have to take 292 and 104, and I'm going to divide it by what number? 2. We'll do 2. 2 goes into 2 how many times? 2 goes into 9. 4 with how many left over? 2 goes into 12. 6. 2 goes into 10. And 2 goes into 4. Now, can anybody look at that and say, yeah, those are equivalent? Not yet. All right, so let's divide by what again? 2 goes into 14. 2 goes into 6. 2 goes into 5. 2 with 1 left over. There you have it. Are they equivalent? Yes. Right, look, guys, and I'm trying to tell you, if you're not participating, you're not getting better at the simple things that you could get better at. Right, if you're just writing, man, he's just dividing out, I have no idea what he's doing. I'm just going to write his work down, then put yes or no. That's not what I want you to do. Or these are basic fractions. You're supposed to be able to do that to those fractions. If you don't know what I'm doing, don't feel bad about it. Feel bad about sitting there not asking me. All right, all I'm doing is I'm trying to see if those fractions are equal. Mr. Williams, what? You got it? All right, come on, guys. I'm trying to show you how to do mental math better. If you practice your mental math, you can do better at the advanced stuff. All right, here we go. Let's knock out 15. All right, now we're solving the proportions. Does anybody remember back in 5th grade how you solve a proportion? How did I teach you? Go.
So you multiply 8 times 15 divided by 3.
Yes, you just cross multiply and divide because you didn't know how to do what? Algebra. Now you know how to do algebra. You just say, what's 3 times a, guys? 3a equals, what's 8 times 15? Well, what's 8 times 10? 80. What's 8 times 5? 40. What's 80 plus 40? 80 plus 40 today is what? 120. Doesn't matter. Let's go. Now you have 3a equals 120. So now you just write down underneath that a equals what?
40.
You guys are killing me. 120 divided by 3. Some of you are telling me all kinds of crazy things. 40. All right. Now, some of you are brilliant and you're saying, well, I already knew it was 40 because I just multiplied 3 times 5 and then 8 times 5. Does anybody remember learning that little shortcut? Right. So if you want to put a equals 40, I'm fine with that. All right. You can see it gets harder as we go down the page. Well, I just knew 3 times 5 was 15.
Okay.
You with me? All right. So here we go on 17. All right. Now 4 times what is 13? So I don't really have a shortcut for that. So now we have to cross multiply. So when I cross multiply, 4 times q is what? 4q. Come on now, practice. 9 times 13, 9 times 10. 9 times 10 is what? 90. 9 times 3 is what? 90 plus 27. 117. All right, come on, you should be practicing. If you don't, it's boring to sit over here and go 13 times 9. 27, carry the 2. 11, that's boring. All right, you should be able to do 9 times 10 and 9 times 3 and add it together. All right, now, of course, we're just going to divide by what? 117 over what? 117 over 4. Anybody have any questions with 17? Yes, sir.
So 17 over 4, to be sure.
I divided both sides by 4. Right? Dividing because you're isolating the q. All right, let's knock out 19. When I cross multiply, I get what? 10m equals 7 times 14 is what? 7 times 10 is what? 7 times 4 is 70 plus 28.
That would be 98.
98. Come on, practice. And now we just divide both sides by what? 10. M equals 98 over 10. We leave it as a fraction, but it must be reduced. So we're going to divide everything by what? 2. If I divide by 2, that becomes
29 over 5.
thank you. 49 over 5. 49 over 5. All right, that's not difficult. These are solving proportions. Solving proportions. All right, here we go. Let's look at 21. Now, do I really feel like doing 4.5 and 6.8
No.
times 10? That's my recommendation. W over 2 equals 45 over what? 68. That's just the best way to handle that. Cross multiply. 68W equals 90. Everybody happy with that? And now we divide by what? So W equals 90 divided by 68. Now, of course, I can divide by what? 2. What's 90 divided by 2? And what's 68 divided by 2? Does that reduce any further? I don't think so. Everybody's good with that? Anybody have any issues? All right, here we go. 23. I still don't like 0.21, so this time I have to multiply it by what? By 100 would be better. Do we agree? All right, that would move the decimal twice. So that's going to be 200 over 21 equals 8 over n. Is everybody okay with that?
Why would you look for the 8 and
Because I'm not changing that fraction. You with me? You could and make it 800 over 100n, but that just makes it more complicated. You're exactly right. Yes.
We're making it 200 because of the 121.
I'm moving the decimal 2 places, once, twice. So here's the decimal, once, twice.
Okay.
All right. Again, hopefully everyone's asking me questions when they're not 100% sure. Go. Well, if you want the right answer, you would do it to the top and to the bottom. Right, let me explain why. Look up, let me show you. All right, I'm not trying to be funny, but if I say 4 over 2, if I say 4 over 20, is that the same thing? No, if you move the decimal over here, you got to move the decimal over here. Right? You're multiplying the top and bottom by the same number. If you multiply the top and bottom by the same number, all right, the fraction doesn't change. All right, now when you cross multiply, you get 200n equals 168. And so now n is equal to 168 divided by what? 200. All right, let's divide by what? 2. Now when I divide, well, does everybody agree I should be able to look at that and say I divide by 4, right? Because 4 goes into 16 and 4 goes into 8. So 4 goes into 16 how many times? And 4 goes into 8 how many times? 2. 4 goes into 20. 4 goes into 0. Now we can divide by what number? So that's going to be 21 over 25. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Go ahead. You got it? All right, here we go. All right, 25. Now, does everybody see? I don't like the decimals. So the right side is going to be what? What? Say it, come on. Over 9. 17 over 9. Now, the one on the left is going to be what? Yes, exactly. Now I did it to the right and to left because I don't want any decimals. Yes, sir.
Why is it 10 to?
Look right here. So exactly, look, 10 over 0.3. If I'm going to move this over, that means I multiplied this by what? 10. If I multiply the bottom by 10, I have to multiply the top by 10, or it's not going to be the same. The reason you're allowed to do that is because what's 10 divided by 10 the same as? 1. So you're technically not changing anything because you're multiplying it by 1, for those of you guys who forgot that rule. Now, when you cross multiply, what's 10t times 9? 90t, 3 times 17. Now we just divide. T equals 51 over 90. And what can I divide by for those? 51 is a tough one. Add the digits together. Remember, what's 5 plus 1? So I know it's divisible by what? 3. It's divisible by 3. All right, so if you divide by 3, 51 divided by 3 today is, right, and 90 divided by 3 is, there you have it, 17 over 30. All right, I promise you, if you're practicing and not just writing down my answers, you're getting smarter. All right, your understanding of math is better. If you're just copying down my work, it's not going to work for you. I don't care. Go, quick. All right, here we go. Now a little bit harder now. A little bit harder. All right, please do me a favor. When someone tells me 6/10, I just automatically reduce it to what? 3/5. If I can reduce a fraction, I'm going to reduce a fraction because it'll make it what? Easier. It'll make it easier. All right, is everybody with me on that? Now when we cross multiply, 5 parentheses, x minus 3 equals, what's 5 times 3? 15. Write that down now. And before you go ahead and distribute and think you're super smart, we want to think smarter. All right. Do I need to distribute the 5? I could just do what? Divide it out. If I divide it out, I get x minus 3 equals what? 3. X minus 3 equals 3. Is that correct? And now what do I do to both sides? Add 3. So x is equal to what? X equals 6. Divide out the 5. Yes, ma'am. Because you're multiplying this by this. That means you're multiplying the whole thing by 5. Not part of it, the whole thing. You agree with that now? You're multiplying the whole numerator by 5. All right, let's flip over to 29 real quick. All right, so I see 10/15. What am I doing? To what? 2/3 equals 4 over x minus 5. If you learn to do that, you'll save yourself some time. So now when I cross multiply, I get 2 parentheses, x minus 5 equals what? 12. Is everybody happy with that? Go ahead.
Where's the 4 go?
Nowhere. Oh, I see what you're saying. 3 times 4 is what? You with me now, right? Cross multiply. Now, should I distribute the 2? No. What am I going to do? Divide it out. So x minus 5 equals what? 6. So now x equals 11. Anybody have any questions with that? All right, let's have some more fun. All right, here we go. 35. Do we ever round? No, we never round. We always leave it as a what? Fraction. All right, so let's cross multiply here. 4 parentheses, f minus 4 equals 7 times 8 today is 56. Should I distribute the 4 this time? No, because 4 can go into what? So F minus 4 equals 4 goes into 5 once. 4 goes into 16. There you have it. So F is equal to what? 18. That's not hard, guys. Right? Everybody agree that's not hard? All right, let's do 37 and 39. All right, these are a little bit more annoying, a little bit more challenging. So we still cross multiply. 10 times 4v plus 7 equals 15 times 6v plus 2. Now, do I have to distribute?
Yes.
Yeah, because 15 doesn't divide by 10 evenly. So it's just go ahead, easier, just go ahead and distribute. So if I distribute the 10, it becomes what? 40v plus 70 equals 15 times 6. 90v plus 30. Now, do I want to move the 40 or do I want to move the 90? 40, because I want the variable to be positive. So I subtract 40v, subtract 40v, subtract 30. And so 90 minus 40 today is 50v. And then 70 minus 30 is what? 40. Now we have to divide both sides by what? Well, we could do that, but let's just go ahead and divide by 50. And now we can cross out. So V was equal to what? 4/5. Mr. Greep.
How do you know when they distribute?
Well, there was no relationship really between these two, between the 10 and the 15. Like up here, I knew there's a relationship between the 56 and the 4. I can divide it evenly. You with me on that? If this was like let's say this was 23. Now it's no value because 56 doesn't divide by 23. Okay. All right, good job, bud. All right, here we go. Last one for me, 39. All right, again, we're going to go ahead and cross multiply. So we're going to say 10 times 2n minus 4 equals 5 times 3n plus 3. Can I do what? Yeah, someone asked me, can I switch this around? This can be here. It's the same thing. It doesn't matter what order you put it in.
So you could cross multiply.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm meaning, look, if you do this first and someone else says, well, I didn't do that first, I did this. I would say it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, right? So now let's go ahead and distribute now. 15n plus 15 equals 20n minus 40. Now, am I going to subtract the 20 or subtract the 15? Yes. Subtract 15n, subtract 15n, add 40, add 40. 55 is equal to how much? It's 5. Is that correct or did I make a mistake? All right, now what? Divide by 5. So n equals 11. I know. All right, nothing like 1 for the month. Very good. All right. Now, listen, guys, please, again, don't waste time. Don't waste time. All right, write out the work. My work shouldn't be any more than yours. All right, you should have what I'm writing down. All right, nice, neat, and organized. All right. Good job for today, guys.